Could the strike by the 9,000 employees at the Liquor Control Board of Ontario be the most stupid strike in the history of strikes? Sure looks that way to me. If you happen to reside in the province of Ontario and you are hoping to pick up a bottle at the local LCBO outlet, well, you are sort of out of luck, but certainly not completely out of luck. I say sort of because while you can't shop in a government-owned and operated LCBO store for at least the next 2 weeks, that's not to say you're going to be denied purchasing alcohol outright. There's the privately owned beer store chain, after all. There are independent wine shops. There are those grocery stores that have already been granted licenses to sell beer and wine. And get this, a consumer can simply go online and order anything they so desire from the LCBO's own website. And you know, when the strike ends, I just wonder how many customers will go back to bricks and mortar LCBO stores once they discover the convenience of online liquor shopping. That definitely won't bode well for LCBO job security, will it now? But the point is, so much for the union holding consumers hostage here with this strike. With all the aforementioned options, a long, hot, dry summer, well, it just ain't going to happen. And I'll tell you another reason this strike is resoundingly stupid. Most strike mandates are driven by demands for better wages and benefits and working conditions. But this strike is being driven by a desire to change government policy. Last week, the LCBO said in a statement that the union that represents LCBO workers, that would be the Ontario Public Sector Employees Union, made it clear numerous times at the bargaining table that workers would go out on strike to force the government to change course vis-a-vis freeing up alcohol sales in Ontario. OPSEU especially wants the Ford PCs to reverse their decision to expand the sale of ready-to-drink beverages like coolers and seltzers in grocery and convenience stores. Oh my God! Seltzers and coolers in grocery and convenience stores? That's got to be the end of the world, right? I think I see the four horsemen of the apocalypse galloping toward Ontario, given that there's no way in hell Ontarians are addled enough to buy coolers and seltzers in a non-government-run liquor store. Now, granted, the Premier has earned the nickname Flip-Flop Ford for reversing so many decisions on so many numerous occasions, but I don't think Ontario's chief cherry cheesecake eating enthusiast is going to cave in on this file, especially given I reckon there is almost zero public sympathy for LCBO workers who earn far more than other retail workers, and especially since there is enormous pent-up demand for freeing up liquor sales in Ontario. We're not even into the first full week of this strike, and this is a loser for the union and a win for the government. And while I have no idea how long this strike will last, I'm going to give OPSEU 7 figures worth of free consulting advice, which is to say, hey guys, bend the knee ASAP and order your members back to work. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, the Ford PCs are not going far enough on this file. Obviously, the LCBO will be downsized in the years to come, but it won't disappear entirely like liquor control boards did in Alberta and Saskatchewan. And that's really a pity. Indeed, as the LCBO rank and file are on the picket lines, we need to ask bigger questions about the very role of government when it comes to retailing alcohol, such as, why the heck is government in the booze business to begin with? It's truly a perverse thing, isn't it? Especially for those who want less government in their lives. Sure, there is a role for government when it comes to running certain institutions, the armed forces come to mind, but liquor stores? Really? Shouldn't the role of government here to be regulating and taxing as opposed to retailing alcoholic beverages? In fact, the decades-old justification of government running a liquor monopoly, and for that matter, a lottery ticket monopoly too, is based on that slice of ideology known as social responsibility. What that catchphrase boils down to is that the private sector only cares about profits, you see. Private liquor stores just want to sell as much booze as possible. Damn the consequences. All private sector liquor store operators want to do is move the merchandise. And the next thing you know, you'll have 12-year-old kids guzzling down Colt 45 in the parking lot. But government, on the other hand, well, government is more compassionate and caring, and yes, more socially responsible. The government would rather turn down a sale of liquor if that hooch was destined to be consumed by a minor.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
Oh, really?
The public sector union that represents liquor store workers is out of control. Indeed, the blame for this strike lays squarely at the feet of OPSU as opposed to the rank-and-file frontline workers. The union is flexing its ideological muscles. It is less concerned about improving wages and benefits of its members and more concerned with reversing government policy that gives consumers more choice. But a bigger question arises. Why is the government even in the booze retailing business to begin with? The role of government is to tax and regulate liquor, not to sell the stuff. Please go to our new website, sellthelcbo.com. That's sellthelcbo.com. It's high time to put this government-run liquor monopoly out to pasture once and for all.